Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rose. Thanks for coming through. For those that are new, please subscribe to my channel if you have not, and for those that have been here for some time now, karibuni sana sana sana. You see, last time I talked about effects of growing up in the village, and today, because I promised to work out my villagehood, or to try and adjust. I am practicing. You can see I have a short-sleeved top because I want to show you that I am honestly and truly trying. And here I am again to tell you things that happened to me because of the fact that I grew up in the village. Today I remembered a story, something that happened when I was in Form 2. So we went to TZ. Where I schooled, there were so many Tanzanians. So the school even used to host or hold Parents' Day for Tanzanian parents in Tanzania, separately from Kenyan parents. And so this time round, because we were considered good girls, I was picked with a friend and we went to Tanzania so that we may participate or just witness the Parents' Day for the Tanzanian students. So we went to this hotel in Dar es Salaam called Kurasini, something of the sort, a good and big hotel. That was my first time to be in a hotel room since I was born. That time I was in Form 2, and I went to school when I was quite old, so I was a grown-up. And so the things that happened during that time, God. So one, I didn't know that you can eat and leave food. As in, like, tell me how you can go to a place, buy food, eat, and leave some there for it to be taken back. No. And no, the norm in that, I thought that we were supposed to eat everything that was brought on table, so we could eat, and I thought it was going to get finished, so I would eat faster. That food used to be so sweet, I could not imagine it being returned. Even after I got full, I ate and ate. So I ended up overeating every single day, but it was not a problem. I could contain myself. And again, the funniest thing that happened during that, the first day we went, you are brought for milk, there is water, there is chocolate, there is tea bags, there is all those. And so, me, because I was not conversant with chocolate or coffee or any other thing, I went for the tea leaves. And because I had never seen tea bags, I thought they brought for us to mix ourselves. So your village girl here goes for the tea bag. And you know what makes me laugh when I think about that story is, if you don't know something, you wait to see what other people do. But I think I was so lost in whatever was happening around me that I didn't even give it a thought. There was good food, there were so many people, I saw so many wazungus, like passing by, I was just so consumed in things. So this lady here goes forth, picks a tea bag, tears it, and puts the tea leaves in the cup full of milk. Yes, that's what I did. It is now that I become embarrassed for that time, but that's That's what did. I had never seen a tea bag. So what did you expect me to do? What did you expect me to do? I just thought of cooking tea, and now that there was no fire, I made the calculation, and now that the milk was hot, I could just put tea leaves and keep going. So overeating, inside the rooms, I didn't know how to use the extensions. So I would wonder what these things are for. Actually, going into the room, seeing the arrangement, and for me it was wow. Nilizuba. Ilikuwa inanizubaisha. So we would stay in the room, and I guess one of the teachers, not I guess, that teacher was our Kiswahili teacher. He was very friendly all the time, not that time that we went. He was friendly. He would get involved in our lives, even in class, and a teacher for the boys high school. And now, but they used to come and teach us, and also our teachers from the girls section could just walk to the boys section and teach. So this guy just used to be involved with our lives, and I think he realized that things were not just looking normal for us with the friend, because we were sharing a room with a friend. And so he kept calling us to just check on us and make fun and make the moments light for us. And so I don't know, I think he used to really make fun about things, especially stupid things that we used to do. But I don't know why he chose not to make fun about the tea leaves, because even my friend tore his tea bag and put it inside the milk, and none of us could laugh at the other person. I don't know at what point we realized, because I could see their tea was very clean, but ours was so full of, and you see, a tea bag doesn't make tea change color, like change color like when you put tea leaves, like cook tea with tea leaves. It doesn't, but ours it looked like it was cooked. As in, it was boiled. The tea leaves and the milk boiled in a sufuria. That's how it looked. So theirs looked different, and I kept wondering, what has happened? We took it from the same thermos or the same flask, but it looked different. And here I realized later, or during the next breakfast, or the next time we had tea, that is when I saw them dipping the tea bags inside their milk. And then I realized, oh, so it was meant to be this. But I didn't feel embarrassed at that point. It is actually now, when I think about that incident, when I feel embarrassed. But you know what? Now take me to any hotel, I'll use tea bags very well, and I will do a few things, Yeah, I didn't even know how to balance the temperature of water, so I would choose to shower with the cold water rather than burn myself in the shower. That teacher was so good that he even planned for us to go shopping with a female teacher at a market called Kongowea, just around Dar es Salaam. And it was so nice. At least I felt that someone cared, because even going into the room in that hotel, we were the two of us, and I felt like we have been placed in a place that is so strange and that we don't know anyone, and like, it gave me goosebumps. I was so afraid, so I don't know even what to say, but just know that this village girl was so afraid. But this teacher kind of realized, and he made the moments for us light. Yeah, and I think about it, and I always desire to meet that teacher somewhere, but I have never met him. I don't know what happened, because even by the time we finished school, he had long gone. And I never heard about him, but I have good memories of him. So God bless him wherever he is for making our stay. Another thing with growing up in the village, I don't know how people in the village are able to get good grades, because the exam comes in English and or Kiswahili for the Kiswahili paper. But I remember for the longest time, and that is the only favorable way of driving information into students in the village, that even subjects like maths, subjects like sometimes English, science, social studies, you're taught in your mother tongue. And the teacher will teach you in a way that at the end of the day, when it comes to exams, you will be able to answer it in English. That's why I always say that learning, if you have thrived in the village and made it to town, and you happen to be dropping a CV somewhere, the fact that you grew up in the village should be included in your CV. Because tell me, how do you teach me English subjects in my mother tongue? Then when the exam comes, I am examined in English and I'm supposed to pass. And we pass with flying colors. Actually, we do pass. Those science questions, sometimes they are hard. But you see, I think God is so funny that he makes sure we get the concept. I don't know whether to attribute it to God or to the ability of our minds to get things in a special way or something. I just don't understand. But the fact is, we are taught in mother tongue, and when the exams come, we pass with flying colors. And that's why it gives me a reason to explain why some of us cannot express themselves in English, or we just cannot adapt to change, or we would even choose to remain in the village forever than just go to a place that requires us to do something or to express or to keep communicating in a language that is not our mother tongue. Because you tell me, you place me in a place where nobody knows my mother tongue. I have gone through school for 8 years. Everything that I have been taught was in mother tongue. Like, the teacher understands this thing in English, and so because they want me to understand, they bring it out in mother tongue. For us, they do it out of love, by the way. It's not that they are denying us a chance to know English, but it's because they want us to get these things. They want us to understand these things. And that's why, bravo to those teachers. By the way, they do a lot. You imagine working out the village in me. I mean, like, trying to make me a different person. Like, even dealing with my thought system, that thinking in a village way or understanding things in a village way, and someone coming in to help me think through things in a different way. By the way, those teachers do a lot, and may the Lord remember you teachers for the good work that you do. Yeah, I can't blame them. Actually, those teachers really do much. They do a lot of work. Thanks a lot, walimu. Thanks. Heshima. Yeah. And I happened, holiday for 4 months. And so most of us chose to go. I don't know, but in the village, the readily available jobs are teaching jobs, or teaching not jobs per se. You can go and help students in so many ways, even living a life that they can emulate, or just talking to them and trying to have them understand things. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And so there was that vacancy. They needed someone to be in and teach students. So I went in. That was the toughest time of my life. I mean, I now got to understand how much teachers have to. You go to a class for 40 minutes for a lesson. You explain something. I used to teach maths because I loved that subject. I loved maths. I used to go teach maths. You do calculate with them on the blackboard. You do examples with them. You explain. And I also taught biology. And Form 2 biology is the easiest biology that I've ever come across. So I would explain and explain and explain. Then after you're done teaching and you ask a simple question, then is when you get to know that nobody got anything. Or that if you have a class of 20 students, only 2 got what you were saying. Now tell me, as a teacher, do you go hang yourself, or what do you do? Like, hey, even some double lessons, you go and talk about something. What can I say? Like, you go teach algebra, and those people just don't get. I would go sit down sometimes and try think, and I would be like, that was one of the hardest times, because you would explain, go repeat the same lesson the following day, plan even to do practicals with those people, and they still would not get what you are saying. Then one time, you meet someone from such a school, trying to do life somewhere. You try asking for something and you hear how they explain that thing. It's your tongue. I mean, it was hard. And I left the village when I was in class 8. Yeah. And so I think I was just so done with my mother tongue. I wanted to now venture into other languages. And for sure, now when I was going back to teach these students, I didn't even know how to explain, how I would explain the things in mother tongue so that they can understand. So I prefer... I preferred teaching them in English, and thought that it was so easy and simple. You know, those things that you think like it's like a walkover, but they proved me wrong. You would bring an exam, you set papers, you bring them a card, and those students would give you a 0. I mean, like, out of 30 questions. You know, for mathematics, you even are awarded for getting a formula right. It's 1 mark. There was a day I marked a paper and the student got a 0. They didn't even get a formula. Tell me. If you were a teacher, I would resign. I mean, I would, if I were a teacher. But that time I was not willing to resign, because I was there for a short time and I knew that it was short-lived. But I gave my all. I would teach and go home literally tired and would, you know. But let me tell you, there is nothing as distressing as spending 2 hours teaching or explaining something, but at the end of the day you come to realize that nobody got what you said. That was the hardest thing. I mean, the hardest part of my life.